Ghost on plays.
What's going on, everybody? We are here on Thursday night. We got some NFL preseason on. We got the guys here. We got some good topics to get to. Fellas, how y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Football back, baby. It's that time of the year. It's time to lock in.
Yeah, man. All is right in the world. We're about to get into the best time of the year, the fall.
Okay. We're definitely glad to hear that. Dave, you in the bed, Dave?
Hey, man, don't worry about my location, man. I'm in my lounge chair right now, man.
Oh man.
You know,
right.
my lounge chair has been feeling good. And I looked at that computer chair. I was like, I don't know about that computer chair tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, we're glad to have everybody. And as we are coming on to the show, we have to say goodbye to Serena Williams, who after this tournament, I believe, is saying she don't want to call it retirement, transition away, or whatever phrase she came up with. Serena Williams is retiring from tennis, according to her Vogue rollout, which kind of just tells you how far she's come. If you guys have watched King Richard, the little girl from Compton, announcing a retirement from sports in Vogue magazine. So that's just the range she has to give you a perspective. But I just wanted to open it up, kind of react on your thoughts of her retiring now, any impact she's had, your thoughts, and we'll just go around. We can start with you, Deb.
Man, I think you and Kenny called it the last time we had talked about Serena. Y'all said y'all thought she was getting ready to hang it up and call it quits. Well, not quits, but like you said, transition. But it's gonna suck for women's tennis because everybody looks for Serena to play. Serena was the Michael Jordan of the tennis for real. You know what I mean? And she set like a very high standard for female tennis, and it's going to be a big pair of shoes to try to fill for the next generation of females that's coming up. But I'm glad that she was able to, have a great career. Pretty much they ain't had no injuries until like the end of her career. So it was great that, she can go ahead and walk out while she's still arguably the best female tennis, or maybe the best tennis player ever. So it sucks that she is hanging it up, but it's great that she's hanging up on her own times.
For sure. Chris.
Shout out to the GOAT. Like Dev said, the Michael Jordan really of tennis. I mean, the impact she's had not only, on young women that want to play tennis, but everybody that wants to play tennis. I feel like a lot of people really started tuning in more once they saw Serena Williams, did her thing in tennis. So congratulations to her. She had a historical career, the impact she's made on the court, off the court. And I'm really excited to see what she's going to do post tennis. Is she going to become a mogul? What business ventures does she have? I'm excited to see what that next step is for Serena Williams. And I just want to say, a lot of people have her in that GOAT debate when it comes to athletes as far as dominance. All time, especially in that 1v1, a lot of people have her up in that discussion.
We're going to get there.
I see where this is going already.
Yeah, I see the plot twist already.
I see the plot twist already.
Kenny.
Yeah, just to I just want to touch on that the King Richard thing, because I actually just recently watched it for the first time. I know I'm super late, but the vision that he had, and then just being able to create probably two top 10 women's tennis players of all time, and maybe the top tennis player of all time, by reading a book. Like he had a vision for his children, and then just the fact that he saw when he told her early that she was going to be the greatest of all time, and everything that he pretty much said came true.
See how that
So I just think,
manifesting works?
yeah, well, he actually saw something.
Yeah,
You don't see anything when it comes
we
to
don't see
Yeah.
nothing in Washington.
yeah, you don't see anything. We're
You
talking about
see,
seeing things.
our logo's a W. That means we're gonna win.
No, that's me. That's y'all trying to win.
Yeah,
That's what it
it
means.
could be the worst too. Stand for the worst.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
good.
But anyway, yeah, nah. So yeah, I just think that was just amazing. And then the other part is, yeah, Father Time, Mother Nature, whatever, however you want to term it, it comes for us all. And you can kind of see that she was slowing down. And I'm just glad that she's going out on her own terms and she's not. A lot of times we see guys go out, athletes either go out because of injury or because they just their skills are so diminished to the fact that they got to give it up. So I'm just glad that she's getting out, ahead of that, and I'm glad that she's going to be able to, kind of have a little little mini farewell to it, however she chooses to do it. And I'm glad she left it open that way she could decide whenever she wants to go, and they don't, get to determine when she leaves. She's, going out on her own terms. So I'm just happy about that. And like y'all said, she's the greatest. And now, she's laid the foundation, and it's my last thing. She laid the foundation, and now we got, the Sloan Stevens, the Naomi Osakas of the world, where now, they stand on her shoulders, and hopefully they can, continue to represent for us and for the culture.
No, absolutely. I think the other part for me, and I was a fan of hers pretty early on. Venus obviously came first, but after that, just seeing how she got treated versus how I watched the men get treated, and then how they kept trying to hype every new person that would rise up, the Sharapovas of the world, to try and knock her off, and she just got them up out of there. She was undeterred in a obviously predominantly historically white sport, and as in she was and may forever be the face of it. Go figure, golf and tennis will have two black faces to be the face of the sports for the foreseeable future. But there's so many things she did and accomplished that I would love to see and hear more about. The movie, I think, did a great job detailing that. But yeah, man, it's tough. I think we talked about it on here before. I guess I'm in that age group that all the childhood legends of my childhood are about to go. I think LeBron will really be the last one, it seems like, or Brady, because he just keep hanging around. But
We all knew that was coming.
He does. What do you want me to say?
Somehow, some way, Brady's getting brought up.
Somebody knock him out of the league, we won't have to have this conversation. But nah, congrats to her. Definitely shout out to her. But that, Chris, to your point, is a conversation that has been had. Where do you have her in all-time sports?
That's something I gotta really sit down and think about. I feel like you have your answer already ready. So if you have your answer ready, you might as well let the people know. But I know, like I said, she's in that conversation, and if you're in that conversation, you're high on the list. So that's all I can really say. I can't really put together a list that fast because we're talking about multiple sports. But when you're in that conversation, you're high on the list, in my opinion.
So I'll if y'all want to go after me, that's fine. I'll be relatively quick. She's top 5 for me.
She's most definitely top 5.
Ranked out specifically, but her dominance, her length of her career, the skill set. It's not a team sport. It's just you outside. Well, you add in the double stuff they did, but she just figured it out and did it at an elite level with the scrutiny of the times and the era as a woman, pregnant. Like, I don't know what more you can say. Her impact, bringing tennis to, I don't know if Serena doesn't exist, if many black people ever really get into tennis. Like Arthur Ashe was a long time ago. And so I don't know if her impact on even the men's side, it can really be measured per se, but I got a top five. If I really, really sat down, I could probably give you all the top five, but I'm comfortable in saying top five for me across all sports from people that I can speak to. I wasn't alive for obviously Babe Ruth, but the people I can speak to, she's in my top five.
You don't got no arguments from me with that.
Yeah,
Nah, none here.
Yeah, you put her in there with the, with the Michael Jordans, with the Muhammad Ali's,
The Wayne Gretzky's,
the script. She goes right in. She's right in that. She's right in that company, and well deserved at that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So from a happy going away to potentially not so happy going away. Cleveland Browns, as they continue to thumb their nose at the NFL, whether it be contract details or some other means, have made it very clear Deshaun Watson will start in the first preseason game, when I don't know that any real starter has started in the first preseason game. So
I swear, I wish I was sitting at my station right now, because they would get the biggest what?
They're well within their right to do so. The rules allow it. My question for you guys is this the right move? I'll start with you, Kenny.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this before. I think it's kind of necessary in a sense that they're trying to get him as many reps as possible, because they know that at some point that they're going to have to, he's going to have to sit, and then they're going to have to go with their backup. So I think they're trying to, and as well is he's going to have to try to hit the ground running when he comes back, assuming that this that the suspension isn't for the whole year, but based on where it is right now, he would have to come in and hit the ground running. So I think they want to try to get him as prepared as possible. So as a result, they're starting him in that week one, because they want to get him as many reps as possible and get him on the field, try to establish as much chemistry as possible with the receivers. This is a new system for them, so they're just trying to get him up to speed as quick as possible. So I think this is just something along that plan. So I'm not surprised at all.
Okay, Dev.
I say it's not a good decision. Number one is you going to start the other starters? If you're not going to start the other starters, that means he's going to be playing it with the backups. And then is the other team that whoever the Browns is playing that preseason game, is they playing their starters? Which means if Deshaun Watson, when Deshaun Watson go out here and light it up, you're going to be like, oh, Deshaun looks like this, and it gets a young, unmature Jacksonville team. So I don't see what's the whole point, because if Jacoby Brissett is your guy for the first 6 games right now, then why not go ahead and build that chemistry with him, because that's your quarterback for the first 6 games. So I don't see where it's a good decision, in my opinion, to go ahead and start him if you're not going to put your other ones in there, number one, and number two, you're going to look good against a young Jacksonville team. Look how Las Vegas just looked in the Hall of Fame game. And it was their number 2s and number 3s out there. And Jacksonville barely got on the board. I think it was late third quarter when Jacksonville got in the game. So I don't see what's the clear-cut plan for starting the Sean Watson in this preseason game.
Okay. Well, we wanted to talk through this thing. Chris, talk to it.
I mean, I see both sides, but I kind of lean more towards Kenny is saying, like, well, you got a guy that hasn't played, in a full season. And nothing is like being on the actual field. You can practice all you want. You can go a whole bunch of drills. You do these 7-on-7s. Even though it's preseason, you still got the pads on. You're still under the lights. You're still getting real game reps. Preseason is not the regular season. But if you want this guy to come in after a 6-game suspension, which it is right now, and really, and go back to that top 5, top 3 quarterback that he showed he can be, he needs as many real game reps as possible. So I think, obviously he might not. Nothing's going to simulate a real regular season game, but this is closer than any practice. This is closer than, any joint practice, any little scrimmage, get under those lights with the pads on, under the, with the Cleveland Browns logo. This is what he needs. This is what the team needs. And so I'm with it. It really doesn't bother me. I think they should start him, get as many reps as you can, and, let's go from there.
So given that obviously we're waiting for, the suspension to come down, which if they want him out for the year and for him not to play, the suspension would have to, I guess, come out tomorrow, I've heard reported, or before the game tomorrow. So by preemptively saying that or stating that, do you think that helps their case as far as the punishment, hurts their case, or will have no impact? Devin.
I don't think it's going to have an impact if him playing or not. I think it's already set in stone. I just think it's just up to Roger Goodell to go ahead and with the NFL to figure out if this going to be a year punishment or is this going to be 10 to 6 game punishment. You know what I mean? So I don't think him going out here or him, it's not going to do anything about his case, in my opinion.
Chris?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think them announcing he's going to start, it really shouldn't hold any weight as far as their decision with this case at all, in my opinion.
Can it?
Same. Yeah, I'm saying it's a nothing. I mean, the only reason why he wouldn't be on the field is if they suspended him for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't ruled that, then why would I,
not playing? Yeah,
why would I sit him out if you are the ruling as it stands right now is 6 games, and I'm doing what's within the rules. So I'm not going to change anything unless the situation changes.
Fair enough. So that brings us to Roger, Mr. Goodell. Did y'all watch the Broncos press conference? He kept whatever he called Goodell, whatever he called him was the wrong name.
Yeah, it was the wrong name.
It was pretty funny. I don't know how you buy a team and can't pronounce the owner of the whatever.
Wait, hold on. Was that guy? Is he U.S. born, or was he from another country or anything?
Isn't he like part of the Walmart family or something like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure their Walmarts are American. The Waltons.
Yeah, because I'm just curious why he just couldn't get.
They're from the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah, I don't just understand why he couldn't get the name right.
Shut up.
Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny.
I'll just say he's from the South and just leave it at that.
Okay.
Y'all can take that for what it's worth.
So Roger came out and said what he wants: a year and a financial fine. Minimum is what Roger's requested. I don't know, and Kenny, I think we kind of talked about this last time. So if whatever this person rules, Watson can appeal that, or does this person have the same Article 46 power that Goodell has? Does anybody know?
I thought he could appeal.
Well, I thought Watson could. I think he can only appeal to. I don't think he can appeal. I think he can only take it to federal court.
Okay.
So I think this is the last part. This is the last ruling that the NFL can do. And then after this, they have to go federal. So it goes outside of the NFL's jurisdiction or NFL's power.
So the issue in the past was that once they went to that level, because Zeke and Brady won at that next level. When the NFL then appealed it, they had the Article 46. Roger Goodell can do whatever he wants. So my question is, if Deshaun appealed it and it got to that second step where everyone else fell short, does this person that's been hired to hear it does he have the same power that Goodell has so that Deshaun is wasting his time appealing it, or is he separate from what Goodell would have?
No, I think this part is the NFL's appeal. This is not Deshaun Watson's appeal. So they're the ones that initiate.
So if, say, he gives them the year and the $5 million fine.
Oh, okay,
Deshaun says, I don't want that. He appeals it. It goes to the first court, the federal court. We've seen NFL players win at that level.
But I don't even think it's an appeal per se. I just think it's a whole nother type of.
Oh, it would be a whole different case.
Yeah, it's a whole different case. So like back when Brady was going to federal court to try to get an injunction. So basically, that injunction was to basically nullify or put a stop to the ruling that the NFL tried to impose. So I think that's what he would need to do if that's what he was trying to do. So yeah, it's like it's different.
So that's different from, like you said, with Zeke, where it was a disciplinary situation.
Yeah, like so the only way that he would go to federal is basically he's saying that what his process that he got from the NFL, he got a bad deal, he got a raw deal, and I got to go outside of the NFL to the federal to try to get some type of, to get some type of judgment that's going to be that I feel that is fair.
Right. So the NFL would then be able to appeal that, though.
Right. Well, only if you won, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only if you won. Yeah.
Okay. So if you are Deshaun Watson, you already lost a year. A year gets handed down. At this point, do you still appeal it, or do you just suck it up and deal with it?
It's like it's hard to just say, yeah, I'm gonna suck it up and just take another year off, because I initially took last year off because I didn't want to play for the Houston Texans no more. I was ready to leave, and I see no more future there. Now you telling me that I gotta take a year off, all because you didn't like somebody else ruling to this case that has been dragged out for so long. So if I'm Deshaun, I don't know, because I feel like if he tries to appeal what Roger Goodell is trying to appeal, I feel like it's going to drag out to almost about half the season anyway now, or even if they even have a timetable before the season even start. But still, I feel like you just, I don't know what to do, honestly. I just don't know, because you talking about that is like saying if a commissioner at our 9-to-5 jobs coming to us to say, look, you gotta take a whole year off, I'm taking half your pay, and you just gotta suck it up. You ain't gonna be like, oh no, Doug, I got mouths to feed, I got bills, you know what I mean? I gotta do this. So it's just like a suck situation, and I wouldn't know what to do, man, because you're gonna lose money either way.
Chris?
I appeal. Like Dad said, you set out a year, and then they already gave out a ruling saying you have 6 months, and it's Roger Goodell's fault we here in the first place. So if they want to, try to double back, give me a year, I'm appealing. I read something that he came out and said, him and his team said they're willing to take 8 games and a $5 million suspension. A whole another year. You send out 2 years. He doesn't want that. Most fans don't want that. So if they try to double back, give him another year, I'm Deshaun Watson, his team, I'm appealing it immediately.
Does anybody know the $5 million where that goes?
Where do all the fines go? I feel like the NFL should put out
the owners.
Exactly. I feel like
to
the owners. I honestly feel like in every sport, when these players get fined, the companies, the NBA, the NFL, but we talk about the NFL right now, should legally put out a public statement on where this money goes. Because where does it go? It's not going. Don't tell me it's going to communities, because what communities is it going to? Don't tell me it's going to the charities. I need to see it. In my
I
opinion, it's getting divvied out to the owners, like Dev said. A
just
pocket change.
Googled it. I just Googled it. It says that it goes to programs for former players.
Okay, I don't believe it. I need to see. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. I mean, I really don't.
I've seen a lot of fines.
This is the NFL.
The vets don't seem to be real happy.
Per NFL.com, that's where it goes.
Let me not be ignorant. I will do my research, but as of right now, I truly don't believe it. Like, because I feel like players would have been said something like, "What programs is it going to?" You know, I don't believe it. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, I mean, I get it, because you see stories all the time of veterans, of older guys
going broke.
Yeah, or they can't, they're
health
battling
issues.
Exactly, they battling
like
to try
that.
to get benefits and things of that nature. So
when they taking millions,
it's definitely suspect.
Millions of fines a year, and yet
Every
we're
year.
still hearing every year, and yet we're still hearing these stories. I don't believe it. That's why I say I truly don't believe it.
No, I don't believe it either, because how you going like the whole clique situation? If you can't do like certain customization to your cliques, you'll get fined. So how are you going to get fined for that? And you telling me you donating to the charity to the vets and all that? Like, I can't believe it, because what if my cliques is for the a cause for the vets?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to still fine me for that?
Exactly.
Well, they give them. I think there's like certain weeks where they give them opportunities to wear, like they relax the rules where they can wear cleats for certain causes and stuff.
Like my cause, my cleat.
But if I wear the same cleats the week before, the week after, y'all gonna find me.
I still feel like Ocho
Cinco
deserves all his money back. The way they put all these new dances in Madden and having dance cams, and you get an interception, you run across the whole field and look at a camera. I feel like Ocho deserves every penny back, because where did that money go?
You know the first don't get the notoriety, they don't get the love, man. You know how it goes.
Yeah, you was passed. You ain't work. That's like slavery. If you was on that time, it happened to you, man. It happened. It sucks. It gotta be like that. But if you was doing that time, it happened to you. You know what I mean? now that it's over with, we all with it. So I'm with you on that one, Chris. Give my man back his money.
And Kenny, I don't know if I got you. Are you appealing?
I think he has to. Yeah, I think he has to appeal, because I think for the whole precedent thing,
especially if he's saying not guilty.
Yeah, that too. And then plus, basically, the judge's ruling was that she could not give him any more games, because the NFL had already set the precedent, and they had not, done anything in terms of changing or letting the players union know that they were changing the rules or how they were going to, punish the players. So you can't just do that midstream just based off of something that just happened. Now you could do it after the fact. But I think this is all, and I said this before, I think this is just posturing that they're trying to, it's like negotiations where you put a astronomical number, but you really want to get to, you're really willing to settle for this number. Mm-hmm. So you just shoot for the moon with your first offer, and then you want to come, meet somewhere halfway in between. So I think that's what this is about.
Chris, what you eating candy, man? What you had church in the back there eating candy, man?
I got some Smarties, man. I got a pound of Smarties.
Pound?
That's funny.
I'm exaggerating, right?
I'm ready to say, man. You gonna break that down?
Put a little extra barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's a lot. But it's time for us to get there, and I appeal to y'all. I already said how I feel. I ain't wasting my time with it. It is what it is. So
it's a topic I want to get to at the end. I just want to hear y'all. I'm gonna wait. It's the very end. We gotta wait to the end, but I gotta ask y'all a serious question, man. Is Team Chazen? His team
You could have
changing.
saved it to the end now. Now I want to know what it is because I want to think about it.
Yeah,
That
we
just
might as
bu-
well just. All right, we ride with it. Don't forget.
Oh, I won't.
Don't forget.
I won't.
All right, so it's time to stop running. Time to stop running.
Ooh.
You got to put it on paper.
Yeah.
You got the best quarterback, running back, wide receiver combo of this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
I've given you guys some time. I'll let you process your thoughts. So I want y'all to come with it, and we're going to talk through it. And Kenny ran.
I go first.
Kenny.
I go first.
Kenny.
I'm going to say I got my list.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready.
I got at least
Oh,
three. I got 3 different teams that
I'm ready.
I want y'all to hear me out on.
Me too. I'm ready.
Okay. Chris, I'm going to start with you. Give it to us. Who you got?
I'm going Philadelphia. No, I'm playing. I'm not that
I was
biased.
about
I'm not
to
that
say.
biased. I'm not that biased. I'm taking it to the AFC. And I'm really taking it to the AFC North. I have Joe Smooth, Joe Mixon, and Jamar Chase. You know,
Nice.
Joe Mixon has really been and I have a couple too that I'm going to give honorable mentions to. I'm just going to wait till everybody else says there just in case it's one of your teams. But I look at Joe Mixon as what he's done. He's been one of the most underrated running backs in the league. It's because he's been on a trash team. But now it's really going to show. You know, we look at this team on the offensive side. Not only got Jamar Chase, but you got T. Higgins, you got Tyler Boyd, but you also have a 1,000-yard rusher that you're going to get 1,000 yards with every season. And I think with that passing game and the offensive line getting better, that running game is going to open up just a little bit more. So I'm looking at yards per game is probably going to go up. His touchdowns might go up. So I think his numbers are going to go up. You know Joe Smooth going to be Joe Smooth. Jamar Chase, that was just a sample. He really going to put the league on notice next year. So that's my best quarterback, running back, wide receiver trio. And it's tough because you got a lot of great quarterbacks and wide receivers and decent running backs, but this is number one.
Okay. Chris went Bengals. Kenny, you ran from us. So I want to get you in before you try and come up with some interception for the Giants. Nobody's watching, but it's cool. Kenny, who you got?
Yeah, that's Chris stole my thunder. That's who I was going with. I think that's the to me, that's the best combo. Because I think you got questions, and I think the other ones that you think about are the Bucs, but then you got questions whether Leonard Fournette is in shape, or he's going to be ready to go. So another one I thought about was the Saints, but you got James coming off injury.
That was my third team.
That was my third
Michael
as well.
Thomas coming back from an injury.
He gonna say somebody team. Watch.
I know he is because he's going down the list. I feel like he's going down the list.
yeah. Those are the two. Those are the 3 that I thought about, and one other one I'll save. So
okay.
All right.
I know that other one.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
Team.
I think that's the most lethal.
You better not have said Dallas. I'd have kicked
No,
the
yeah, I ain't gonna be no homer like y'all.
No, I didn't pick the Eagles. Come on now.
Okay, yeah.
I
So
could've.
no, I think Cincinnati between Mixon, Chase, and Burrow.
I'm picking my Ravens. I don't care what nobody says.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't even have a receiver.
I'm gonna be objective.
Rashad Bateman going to get 1,000 yards this year. All right, not saying that they deserve. Not saying that they deserve to be on this list because they don't.
No. I'm only playing. The Ravens wasn't
unless
on
you
my
could
list.
substitute Mark Andrews for a wide receiver. Then I don't know.
No, I was going to joke and say Lamar was my quarterback. Lamar was my running back.
You could do that with San Francisco. You could put Debo at running back and wide receiver.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So now I'm with Chris. I got Cincy. I think they're the most complete and the most potent.
Dev, it's on you. Bring it home. Don't leave me hanging.
I don't know about leaving you hanging. If you thought I was going to pick Washington, sorry, but I am going to go with an NFC team. Head out. They underachieve a lot, but if you look at their individual numbers, you be like, oh, all right, I can kind of see it.
I know where you're
How
going with
about
this.
how about the Vikings?
Yep,
That was
Kirk
that's the one I left.
they're on my list.
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins is a
Uh-huh.
4,000 is a steady 4,000 passing yard quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook is a steady 1,000-yard running back. Whether he's dealing with injuries or not, he's still a 1,000-yard back. And since y'all went with Jamar Chase, what about Justin Jefferson, who was now the arguably a top 5 wide receiver in the game now? He's also caught 1,600 yards, receiving yards last year. So that was my pick. My second pick, I was going to go with Las Vegas, but only reason why I didn't really go with them is because Devontae haven't played with them yet. So I was like, nah, I can't go with it. And Josh Jacobs is not 1,000. He didn't rush 1,000 yards last year.
It
But
seemed like they're kind of down on him. So
Because they don't like the scheme fit. But I think they deserve to be in a conversation if you're looking at numbers and talent.
yeah, so that was my second team. I was debating between the Vikings and the Raiders of how I was going to do it, but I was like, well, if we're going to go with numbers, let's go with the Vikings right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Dev, you were so close. You almost did it. You almost did it.
Come on, pick the Bucs.
It's the Raiders. I think it's to me, I think by every stretch of the imagination, that tandem is going to be great. I think Josh Jacobs, even though that they're down on him, his production in that offense now and all the other weapons I just think if you talk whole core, I think they might have the best core, especially if you start factoring in Waller at tight end. But if I'm just going off Adams, I don't care what y'all say. He the best receiver in football.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And I'm taking. I get the Joe Burrow hype and love. I'm with it, but we'll see.
I ain't with it.
Year two tends to be a little different.
Technically, it's year 3. Technically, it's year 3.
It is. And also, let's not act like Derek Carr is actually, his. You give him credit for.
We disagree on that. The same way I enjoy.
I don't know.
He played 10 games his first year.
Yeah, he ain't exactly been Mr. Clutch.
Here's my only argument.
He was but the only thing I like about Carr, he was almost a 5,000-yard passer last year. I give him that. You know what I mean? He threw up some numbers with just having Waller and Hunter Renfrow. So I don't know. I kind of got to disagree with you on that one, Kenny. I think Derek Carr's the side.
No, I'm not saying
Derek Carr is solid.
I'm just saying he still hasn't, to me, shown me the consistency to be
he
that
top
elite
15.
guy.
He top 15.
Oh no question about that. I'm talking about to be the elite guy.
But I'm that's wild. That's wild. But I'm gonna say this though. Out of all the team, and we know what Devontae Adams is. He's probably going to have the most receiving yards. That's fine. But I'm looking at Josh Jacobs, and I don't see him putting up 1,200, 1,300 yards. They have the worst O-line out of any group by far.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals improved their offensive line. But I mean, listen, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. That's crazy. We're not even going to. I didn't even say my Eagles, so I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm a fan of Josh Jacobs, but it seems like they're not going to be a run heavy team like how they were. Like, I don't know.
Don't they still got Drake over there behind him?
I feel like they're going to.
He's not.
I don't think watch because all I've been hearing is that Josh Jacobs wants out because and they don't want to use him the way he wants to be used, like a Nick Chubb. Like so, no, don't get me wrong. As far as talent, I think
it's good. I don't think they should use him that way.
So then I can't say they're the best trio then because I see Joe Mixon being used like a top running back. I don't see that happening with Josh Jacobs.
What do you mean by like a top running back? Jacobs going to get the majority of the carries and he's going to catch more balls.
He had about 400, 500 more yards than him.
He played more games.
Two. Let me pull it up.
Yeah,
one.
I'm looking at it now.
He played one more game and he had almost 400 more yards. I just not like. I just
Yeah,
don't
Josh
think
Jacobs played 15 games and only had
Cam Akers.
872 yards.
Yeah,
Man, why is everybody so on the Rams, yo?
But I think the
And
viewers
then
are forgetting we're adding running back too.
Running back, yeah.
Cam
you got-
I
Akers
like
is not a
Yeah, the Rams don't have
He got to show that he's healthy.
yeah
like
like
for sure running back.
I almost went to Browns.
I thought
So-
about them,
so,
but
Mike,
the
here's-
quarterback.
I have a question. So
Exactly.
let's go do it this way. Y'all are taking Joe Burrow's over. You're taking Burrow over Carr.
Yeah,
I'm taking. I'm not.
yeah, I am.
I'm not. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
And they beat him head to head in the playoffs. He beat him head to head in the playoffs.
Yeah,
His team was better.
I'm taking Joe Beasley. Don't matter. Get it done. I'm taking Joe Beasley.
Okay,
Yeah.
we disagree on that. I
That's
definitely
fine.
give you Mixon.
Well, how was this? Well, yeah, last year. Okay, I'll give you. He had more talent. He had more talent. I give you that.
Ooh.
Joe
No.
Beasley.
I'm saying Burrow had more talent on the offensive side of the ball.
Nah,
See,
man, our
okay.
third string quarterback almost threw an interception.
I don't know about if Akers' potential blows Jacobs out of the water. I don't see that. Josh Jacobs is a top 10 running back if he's getting the ball like all these other running backs. So I don't. And Cam Akers is not a top 10 running back if he's getting that production. Like, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm not
think
right with Cam
they were
Akers.
bringing people in to try and split carries.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that guy all year.
Akers is a good serviceable running back, but Josh Jacobs is a true number one right now. Right now, the Raiders are all
It's
over
a
the
coaching
place.
discrepancy, which Josh McDaniels
Yeah.
I have little to no faith in, which is I
But
think
I'm about
what
to
might
say,
derail
they-
my Raiders. But
That's
I
their
think
point.
on
That kills
paper
your
and talent,
because they're running
as
back
a
by
group
committee.
of individual
He's a running back
talent,
by
because
committee guy.
y'all stuck. We got through two position groups, and I feel like y'all view Chase a lot higher than I view Chase in relation to Devontae Adams. Like,
I mean,
I get he
Devontae.
had a great.
I'm not even
Here.
putting Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson yet.
So that to me is really why I picked Vegas over Cincy. Like, Chase is good, but he still dropped balls, and he did it 1 year. Like,
He's a rookie.
I
What
know.
do you mean?
That's my point. I've seen some rookies have great years, and then the year two is different. And I think it's going to be different for that team. I think
The
that
reason-
team. I've
to
talked
disagree.
about the same thing with
Yeah.
Memphis.
I got
think
to
it's gonna be
disagree.
different. So y'all
They
got them
got-
going
they
back
got-
to the Super Bowl.
I didn't say that,
That's
but
what
I'm
they
not
did
saying.
last
We're
But
talking about
but
production. What's
But
production?
yeah, we're talking about production, and two, I look at their playoff run. I mean, they were a decent team. They beat those other teams they easily could have lost. Not saying that they're going to Super Bowl favorites, but I think they're in the mix, and they only got better. Their wide receiver core, not like it's just Jamar Chase by himself. They got legit a three-headed monster,
Absolutely.
and they upgraded their offensive line. And
Yep.
I'm telling you, you're sleeping on how bad that Raiders offensive line is. Devontae Adams, the reason why he was cutting everybody up with those amazing routes, because Aaron Rodgers could sit there, he could take his psychedelics, and he could throw the ball. Derek Carr's not going to have no time to do that. He's going to have 1-2 slant.
So
1-2 slant.
what do you do with Derek Carr last year? So you just
Listen,
throwing that away?
no, I'm a fan of Derek Carr. I'm a fan of the Raiders. I think they're going to make a lot of noise. But going back to the original question, I don't think those three are going to be better than the three in Cincinnati. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to talk about teams. I'm going to talk about those three production-wise.
that's what I'm talking about. That was
Well,
my
those-
initial
okay.
thing.
Joe Burrow is not going to have a better season than Derek Carr. Josh Jacobs is not going to have a better season than Joe Mixon. Devontae Adams probably going to have the better season against Jamar Chase.
But I
Why?
don't think it's
'Cause
going to be
Devontae
that
Adams-
much of a difference. I think that to me, the differential or the tiebreaker of what goes in Cincinnati's favor is the running back. I think Mixon is significantly better than Josh Jacobs.
And I
I
don't
think that's why. I think that's why. he put
I'm
Cincinnati
I'm
over.
not gonna say significantly better.
You know
than
why?
him. You know what I
I'm gonna-
mean?
I'm going to say his
It's to
production.
I
Chris's
would-
point. It's to Chris's point, the scheme thing, because McDaniels is a running back by committee guy, and he was
Mhm.
already splitting carries with Kenyon
Agreed.
Drake, and even Peyton Barber was getting some carries with the Raiders. So he hasn't, and that's I think what his problem is they've never used him as the number one guy. He's a first and second down back for the Raiders.
We'll
and that's
see.
it.
See, I think how you view that difference, I view the receiver difference. I just don't. I don't think they're that close.
But right, I'm
Until
looking at the stats here. So looking at the stats from
I'm
last year,
talking as a talent. Like if I had a collection of talent that I wanted to put, I'm taking Las Vegas's 3 over Cincy's 3. And if Cincy
Well,
prove me
hear me
wrong, I'll be happy. But
To me,
I'm taking that 3.
there's only one position that I'm taking. I can confidently say he's better than him by far, and that's wide receiver. Like I can't say that with the quarterbacks.
But I don't think
Can't
it's
say that with the running
I
backs.
don't. You could say by far, but if you look at the fact that he was splitting with Higgins and that 3-headed monster in Cincinnati, and he still came away with 81 catches for 1,000.
I say this though.
Almost 1,500 yards.
Devontae
and
numbers
13
might go
touchdowns.
down. Devontae numbers might go down. Devontae numbers might go down.
No, they will.
And-
I think they will. And I don't
'Cause
know.
Come on,
it's
come
crazy.
on,
I think both their numbers are gonna go down.
The Raiders,
I
the
agree.
Raiders have not really been good. They maybe had one season since Derek Carr's
Yeah,
been there.
I don't know.
The
what
Raiders,
all
especially when they got
talent
Gruden
and
and Mayock,
They
like,
had a decent coach and then they fired him
they like
early.
We're
We're
not-
not
we're
talking
not
about
about-
Gruden.
yeah, I know we're not about to act like the Raiders have been this star-studded
Right.
team.
And they,
since
to
Derek
me,
Carr's
they were
been there.
the Cardinals of the AFC. They start out fast and then
Like,
fade.
Yeah, they had one good year in 2016 where they went 12-3. I mean, everything after that
For
been
the
average.
last couple of years, they have had the Chiefs in their division. That matters.
I mean, but the division only got harder now. Look at the Broncos and the Chargers.
But I think they got better.
I can say the same thing about Cincinnati. They've been in the North has been
They've
a
been
tough
in the
division
North.
until the last year or so.
I mean, some could say that. I'm not even gonna go
Yeah.
there. I'm not even gonna go there.
I mean, you talk trash and shoot shots all the time. No
I mean,
time
some could say, some could say, they about to take that division by storm. Some could say that they arguably been, one of the best teams in the past. When you're looking at, you think, yes.
So you're just throwing Cleveland away.
I'm not throwing them away. I said some could say, didn't say. I'm saying a lot of people have faith in the Cincinnati team because all they did was get better this all season. Like I look at certain teams that just brought back the same roster
on paper.
I mean, we say a lot of things on paper. We said the Rams are good on paper and they went to the Super Bowl. So I mean, we can't always say that on paper thing. So let's just look at it how it is. They look.
I
good,
think the
so
numbers bear out. Typically, on paper, it don't work out. Now we could be wrong. I could be wrong. I just think they are going to
works
regress.
out this year.
I think they regress. I definitely don't think they're in the Super Bowl.
Teachers on.
Well, I can see. I still think they're going to be a playoff. They may not make the Super Bowl, but I think they're still going to be a playoff.
I mean,
team.
I still see them the favorites in the division right now.
They should win their division, depending on this Deshaun thing. And even with that, I think top to bottom, they're the better team. But if they fool around and catch the wrong AFC West team in the first or the second round, they could go out early. So, I mean, we'll see. They proved themselves relatively well, but I don't know. I got the Vegas group, and we just threw away poor Minnesota. That didn't even.
I mean, no, we didn't throw them away.
Kirk
I'm
Cousins.
not
Y'all throw them away.
Kirk Cousins automatic DQ.
There you go. Talk to him.
That's the only reason. That was the only reason why I didn't want to keep debating about Kirk Cousins. Only because out of those other two quarterbacks y'all said, I don't think Kirk Cousins
I'll say this
is
though.
better
I think
than
Dalvin Cook's the best running back out of those.
That. Now that was the only thing. That was the only thing that I would defend for was Dalvin Cook. But like Ray said, the injuries. You know what I mean? So. You know what I mean? The only thing I can argue with is Justin Jefferson is the top 5 wide receiver in the league. You know what I mean?
So and I did want to. This was my second team. No, this was my third team. Nobody gave the Chargers no love. We don't like Eckler and Allen and Herbert.
No.
I'm not a sole believer that running back. I'm not a sole believer that running back.
I like that squad. I like that squad.
Solid.
Eckler's good. Keenan Allen's good. Herbert, I'm a fan of.
Allen is nice.
I just don't think they're better than the people we've named. I don't. I think Herbert, you can
You
argue, is
taking
just
Burrow
as good.
over Herbert?
Ooh. Ooh, that's
So,
kind
no.
of tough.
This year going to tell. I'll say this: I'll take their wide receivers over Keenan Allen. I love them. I'll take their running backs over Eckler.
Let me
who's
ask
very,
you.
very good.
Wait. So you taking Chargers wide receivers over Cincy?
No, I'm taking Cincy's over Chargers.
Okay, got you.
Like
The
Justin Herbert.
collection of receivers are just Chase over Allen.
However you want to argue it. However you want the collection and Chase over Keenan, and I think Keenan is a stud. Keenan
Mike
is a
Williams is
stud.
good too now.
Mike Williams is a stud.
Right.
Give me Cincy.
I think
Stud.
the third one. Yeah, I'll say the third.
I'm
That's
riding
where it gets tricky.
I'm riding with Keenan on a wide receiver tip.
I feel you. Look, he only been in the league 1 year. He about to double up next year.
That's the only reason my
I
case
can
with Jamar Chase.
I can respect
It's
that
because
argument.
he only did 1 year. I need to see, Keenan Allen. We seen consistent years.
Bodies of
Yeah.
work, 1,000 yards.
When you see a
1,000
guy,
yards.
but if you see a guy come out the gate with 1,500 yards, how many guys we see come out the gate with 1,500?
I'm not
The great
right. I'm not
More.
I'm not
That's
arguing.
it.
I'm
More.
not
It
arguing
was a
that.
historic
I'm not
season.
arguing that. I'm not arguing that, but we also seen receivers, like Ray said, start off hot and then disappear and don't
Not
fit
like
right in with the
this.
system. You know what I mean?
I feel what
So
both y'all
1,500.
saying. I feel what both y'all saying, but to me, you know what I'm saying, I just look at Justin Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? They the same. They the same. If Justin Jefferson did it, and they say he wasn't going to do this, and he did what he did, that gives me even more faith in Jamar Chase. And like Kenny said, one, he didn't play it. He already sat out a year in college, so he coming in rusty, and he did that to y'all, and now he got his momentum in the league. He's going to double down.
you think defenses ain't going to scheme a little different for him
He
this
had
year? Though?
1,500. They were scheming for him the whole season.
That
No, they
too.
won't. Don't do that.
When
Don't
you
do
get
that.
drafted,
When
when you get
He was
drafted
the
that
number
high,
one weapon from the
when you get
gate.
drafted that high,
coming out of preseason, the whole thing was he kept dropping balls. So don't tell me at the beginning of the year.
when you sit out a year,
talking about
when
he
you
finished
sit
with
out a year,
1,500. He had to be
thank you,
the
Kenny.
first one on the scout report at some point.
after those first, after
Yeah,
those
towards
first,
the end of the year.
Ain't
when they stopped
towards the
throwing
end of the
no,
year.
no,
No way.
Yes,
no,
they
no,
did.
No way.
no.
way.
He
Man,
came out
my
hot,
only thing,
No way.
and nobody
my only
expected
thing,
it.
my only thing is about Jamar Chase is I need to see more on his resume. Like I said, that was great that he came out the gate dropping 1,500. That's great. I give y'all that argument. My only argument is I just need to see a little bit more body of work. Give me another year or two with him. If he can even get close to 1,500, then I can go ahead and give him the nod. But you know what I mean? As of right now, they're just that 1 year. I can't
I'm gonna
just
tell y'all
give him
exactly.
that.
Just
no.
listen. Hold on, just listen. I just got his
double down,
game.
watch.
Listen
I'm
to
looking
his
at it
first
too.
6 weeks. This is his first 6 weeks. We're talking about Jamar Chase. 7,101, 454, 565, 977, 10,159, 697, 10,201. You telling me he ain't the first one on the scouting report?
And he put 2-1 on your
When?
team, Dev. On
Until
Marlon.
what?
Hey, hold on.
Until how many?
First of all, we had a
6 games in?
bunch of street guys playing.
The first game he had
Come on.
7,401.
I just told you, coming out of preseason, nobody was rolling coverage to him. He was dropping balls all preseason.
Okay,
Week
okay.
4,
And
Green Bay 10
So
for
don't tell me he was getting
159.
the best coverage to start the year.
This is all I'm gonna say. At the end of the year,
He didn't really start popping to that
hold on.
7 for whatever, and then he had the 10.
Wait,
And
wait,
then
wait,
people
look,
started
look,
to take
look,
notes.
wait.
That's week
Okay,
5.
okay,
10 for
wait.
159.
Look, Ray, I see what
He
you're
was
saying.
on the-
I see what
from
you're
that
saying,
point
Ray.
on, he's number one on the scout.
You saying he's not number one on the scouting report. Okay, that's fine. But then on the teams that's supposed to be these good defenses with these good DBs, I mean, another 125 on Baltimore. Then look what he did in the playoffs.
Man, we had street players on that.
But then look what he did in the playoffs.
Baltimore's most
Look what
injured
he
team
did
of the
in
year.
the playoffs. Look what he did in the
And
playoffs as a rookie.
I said he had a great season. I didn't say he didn't have a great season. I said he wasn't getting, he was not getting the majority of coverage to start the year, and then he blew up and he had a historic season.
And what,
We're not
the
Week
only-
arguing
5.
The only
Week
reason I'm
five.
saying double down is because look at all the weapons that they have. You
Week
like
5 is the
somebody gonna
beginning of the
pop.
season. Week
What do you
5.
mean?
Five's
Week
close
five
to the
is
middle.
That's the beginning of the season.
For who? How many 0-5 teams
That's
go to
the
the
first
playoffs?
third of the season. That's the first third of the season. The
You can't tell me it
17
don't
games.
matter. You can't just piss away the first 5
I'm a-
games.
listen,
No, my point is that by the first third of the season, he was the number 1 on the scouting report.
let me ask y'all this: is Jamar Chase top 5? And if not, who your top 5?
Yeah,
He's not my top 5 yet. I don't think he's my top 5 yet.
No, I think he in my
Yeah.
top
I'm gonna
five.
go with this is off the top. This is Devontae Cooper, Justin Jefferson. Dang, I wrote it down too.
Tyreek.
No.
No, Tyreek didn't make my top 5 either.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Tyreek not in your top 5?
No, he's
Who did
not.
you say? You said
Reality check.
Cup, Justin Jefferson, Devontae.
And
Devontae,
Cooper
Justin
Kupp.
Jefferson, Cooper Cup.
Cooper in my top 5. You went triple
You
crown.
got
Like
Diggs over him.
oh, you got Diggs in there.
Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
Yeah, Diggs
And-
over Chase.
Yes.
Come on now, we not about to act like Diggs not him.
Right. If
Yes.
y'all saying
Yeah,
him,
but-
you should have to, right. You should have him over Diggs if your criteria is you got to do more than 1 year.
Right. You know what I mean? So that's
I don't
why
think-
That's what I'm saying.
There's a
Jamar Chase
reason
is not
Diggs
in my
left
top
to
5 yet.
Minnesota. He ain't exactly been the number 1 for a long time either. He had to leave to go get his shine, and he did well. But he only had a
got
year.
his
to-
shine down in
Was your
Minnesota
quarter,
too.
he was dogging in Minnesota with an
Right.
average
He was putting up
quarterback.
numbers.
He was the number.
He was
He was the number
he was
2 in Minnesota. Let's be clear.
But that was more because of
I don't
Cousins.
care what it was based on. He was a number 2.
I don't say number 2. I
He's
said
had-
when they went B, they alternated. I'm saying they
No,
alternated.
no, don't do
I'm saying
that.
they
Go look at
alternated.
them numbers.
Hey,
Go
he
look
put the
at the
Saints.
numbers.
Since he's been
He
in
put-
Buffalo,
he
he's
put
been
the
putting
Saints-
up number 1 numbers. So
Hey,
I
even in
And he's
Minnesota,
only been in Buffalo,
he
what,
put
2
the
years?
Saints
3 years, and he
3
been
years.
top 5 3 years straight.
He been
we
top
ain't
5
doing
what?
that.
Wide
He's the
receivers
top
in the
5 wide
game.
receiver. Top
Wide
5
receivers in the game.
I don't know about that. Not for 3 years straight.
3 years
I
straight.
don't have that. I would have to go back and look.
2 years.
3
2 years in
years
Buffalo.
straight.
2 years in Buffalo.
And that's
5.
thank you.
1,500 and
Yeah.
1,200. Come on, 3 years
Yeah.
straight. On 100 catches, 2 years straight. 3
Yeah,
years straight.
127 and 103.
Okay,
That's big time.
so we were talking about Chase with 1 year, and now y'all saying Diggs with 2
No,
years.
that's my point is
What
that
are we
you.
talking about?
But that's
I
my
still
point. is that
believe
you're saying
Stephon
that-
Diggs was the dog in Minnesota.
Thank you. I saw his body of work in Minnesota, so it's
I
not
saw
one
his
2 years.
body of
did,
work when he
as-
was in
As
Maryland.
a number 2. What are y'all not understanding?
100 catches. 100 catches.
As a number
that's
2, don't talk to me about being top 5 and
63
you're
and,
number 2.
1,000 yards. That,
Don't
I
talk to
said,
me
yards
about
his-
being top 5
his
and you're
resume-
number 2.
So when you look at teams that got these star-studded wide receivers and they're number 2, like with Reggie Wayne and them, like we're not looking at Reggie Wayne like he was a dog when he was with Marvin Harrison.
He's a Hall of Famer.
right. He was the number 2.
He was a number
Right.
2.
So can you,
Ooh,
in
good
theory,
point.
yes. Kobe was a number 2. You can have a great number 2. Do I think Stephon Diggs is that caliber of player? No.
I disagree.
You
I
think
can't
he's
ride
Reggie
with you on
Wayne?
this one.
You think he's Reggie
Diggs
Wayne?
is top 5 in the league as a wide receiver.
I believe
Top
Stephon Diggs will be a Hall of Fame
2
wide
years
receiver
ago,
when
he was not.
when he's done.
I don't know about that. He was on his
Right.
way.
He was top 10.
Yeah, he was on his way.
He was top 10. It wasn't out
He
that
was-
argument. He was top 10.
Who are
Yeah.
we talking about?
Diggs.
Stephon
That route
Diggs.
running has been amazing.
I was gonna say his
Even
route
with
running
Minnesota.
has been
Yeah.
amazing since Maryland.
You like we all know schemes and fit determines player stats. Let's not act. Come on now, we all know this.
Mhm.
It ain't like he was a scrub.
Okay, if y'all
So
want to
if
say
Allen,
been
Allen
top 5
Thielen,
for
Thank you.
yourselves out.
Thank you. Where's Adam Thielen? Like have
so
we
is
heard about
Allen-
Adam
So
Thielen
is
since
Allen
Diggs left?
Thielen a number 1 or number 2 with Justin Jefferson there then?
2.
She's the 2.
And-
Or was he?
But
So,
was he the number
really
one
a
or
two,
number two?
or
Was
was
Stephon
Cousins
Diggs?
force feeding him?
He was
Thank
the
you.
one. Go look at y'all. Keep talking numbers. Go look at the
Was
numbers.
did you
There's
ever
a
think he was better?
reason Thielen stayed and Diggs left.
Did you
What
think
y'all
he was
talking
better
about?
than Diggs? Did you think he was better than Diggs at any point when they was playing together?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes, I did.
I don't think so.
I never
I don't
did.
think
I
so.
never did.
Y'all don't have to think it. The numbers proved it.
Numbers
you talking about?
Numbers can tell lies sometimes. Let's not.
Y'all been talking. Y'all been talking my head off about numbers, and now numbers can lie. Which one is it?
Don't put the y'all in that.
Yeah,
Go
that was,
directly at Chris.
yeah. I said that. You don't got
Y'all
to throw them under
y'all
the bus.
just statted me to death
All right.
about the Cincinnati Bengals, and now stats can lie.
Hold on.
Listen, all I'm going to say is to the original point. You know what I'm saying? The Bengals going to have the best 1, 2, 3. Stephon Diggs is top 5. I'm not mad if Jamar Chase now in your top 5, but we talk about Diggs top 5. I'm sorry, Diggs top 5.
Okay, I personally disagree, but it's not a big deal.
So who's your top 5 then, Ray? I need to hear it.
Yeah.
My top 5. I was good. You said
I can
obviously
name
Adams. I got Adams.
Oh yeah, Adams.
Yeah,
Justin
Devontae
Jefferson.
Adams.
I'm gonna just
I
name
got. I'm
Javon.
going Jefferson.
You got Tyreek Hill.
No.
Y'all tripping. Y'all don't got Tyreek top 5. You got Debo
In top
Samuel.
5?
Debo.
No.
He's
He's not
a-
even a real receiver to me.
I don't.
Debo didn't
Debo,
have-
you have Debo.
Debo didn't have 100
as a top
receptions yet.
5 wide receiver.
I'm curious to hear. So like who's naming your top 5? I didn't name all the
Let me go.
guys.
All right, let me pull it up.
You named all your guys, Chris.
No,
Get out of
I'm
here.
just saying, like,
Keenan Allen is a top 5 receiver for me.
Hold on.
You said who?
Let me.
Keenan
Yeah,
Allen
I'm about
is
to
a
drop
top 5
some. I'm about to
receiver.
drop some stats on y'all.
I like that.
quick.
I like
Since we
that.
want to talk about numbers. Okay, I just did a quick search, and I got a comparison of Adam Thielen's and Stephon Diggs' numbers. All right,
Talk to
so Adam Thielen, 118 games played. Stephon Diggs, 103 games played. Receptions, Stephon Diggs, 595. Adam Thielen, 464. Receiving yards, Stephon Diggs, 7,383. Adam Thielen, 5,966. Yards per reception, 12.4. Stephon Diggs. Adam Thielen, 12.9. Touchdowns, 48 for Stephon Diggs, 49 for Thielen. First downs, 353 for Stephon Diggs. Adam Thielen, 299. You want me to go on?
I'm just trying to figure out
We
who
still
gets.
talking
Like,
about, we still talking about Thielen was the number one?
Thielen was the number 1. Watch the tape. Look at the tape and see what positions they lined up in. Like, he was the number 1.
No, he was
I'm not-
Kirk's number 1.
Right.
When Case Keenum was there, you know what I mean? It was a totally different. We didn't hear Alan Thielen name knocking the Saints out the playoffs.
So you're saying when
we had
Case Keenum was
Stephon-
there, what happened when Case Keenum was there?
It
Diggs
wasn't
was
all.
the guy.
It wasn't an Alan Thielen show.
Was the team any good?
why are they any good now?
They knocked the Saints out the playoffs.
I'm not talking. I just said now Adam Thielen's not that dude. I said he's the number 2 today. So I'm not talking about today.
No, I'm talking about when Stephon Diggs was
I
there.
can run with this. Kyle, I agree with you. I'll have Diggs in the top 5. I can't think of a reason he's not.
Tyreek.
No. I said I'm taking Chase over Diggs. So I guess Chase is top 5 for me. Chase is top 5 for me.
He's not my top 5 yet.
We talk about Tyreek Hill. Like, you can't game plan for that speed. He
So
can
you
run
still
all these.
and you still taking the Raiders over Cincinnati?
He is.
Acknowledge that.
Yeah. Adams is
Okay.
still 1.
Okay.
Like,
I'm just
and I
saying.
don't-
You said Chase is top 5.
Adams is better and Carr is better. 2 to 1.
Oh yeah. You tripping
Okay.
on Carr, but go ahead.
All right.
All right, knock yourself out. Like I said, y'all better be right. These Bengals bet not falter because y'all is talking crazy.
Y'all
And these
better be
Raiders
right, y'all
These
too.
Raiders better ascend and make a.
They
playoff
got to
run.
overcome Josh McDaniels. If they can overcome Josh, they going places.
Here we go. Here go the qualifier.
I've been saying that.
Just like everybody's the
I've
same
been
question
saying
was
that.
asked
Don't
about
do
the
that.
Bengals coach. Same question was asked about the Bengals coach. It is what it is.
And he
I
got it
don't wanna-
done.
Okay.
He performed well. We've seen Josh go
Yeah.
places and fail.
Okay.
Like
He only went
the
one
Bengals
place,
coach
though.
got
That's
elevated
not
and he was successful. Like
He only went
I ain't
one
taking
place,
nothing away
so
from him. What'd you say, Kenny? You talking more
He only
trash?
went one place. So it's
Ooh,
not like it's
yeah,
a-
it was terrible. He was awful.
I mean, hey, listen.
He was
the
cheating
dude
and he
made
was
the-
terrible.
They made the playoffs with Tim. They made the playoffs with Tim Tebow at quarterback. To
Ah,
me,
dang, boy. I
that's-
wish I was sitting at my
he
station,
deserves a
boy.
medal
Y'all
for
is
that.
shooting shots. Y'all is shooting
Don't be
shots.
disrespecting
Dang.
Tim Tebow on this show, Kenny. All right,
Come on,
so we
Tim
don't
Tebow.
start
Tim
disrespecting
Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Tim
I know.
Tebow.
I'm about to trigger the Skip Bayless in him. Let me stop.
Tim Tebow.
That playoff winning
Stop.
quarterback. You talking about the
Stop.
playoff winning quarterback?
That hasn't
Oh.
played quarterback since.
And that's unfortunate. There's a lot of quarterbacks that should still be playing it on.
1 year
We don't
wonder.
need-
Thank you.
Lord have mercy.
Come on,
Peyton
I
Manning
got a
showed
20
up.
25% completion percentage, man. Like what are
So,
we at
but
quarterback?
he
Play to
never
win the
played for
game,
another-
Chris.
He never played for another team again. I'll tell you
He
everything
played
you
for
need to know.
the Jets.
Never
Rex
played
Ryan.
quarterback as a starter for another team in the league again.
And that's unfortunate.
Make it clear.
And that's why coordinators keep getting fired because they keep making dumb decisions.
Okay.
Anyway, on to other news. We talked. I don't know if y'all saw Frank Gore. Not a good allegation. Not a good look. Apparently dragged a naked woman and across the hallway in a hotel.
I didn't know about this.
What?
I didn't know.
I saw something. I didn't know the details.
I
Hold
didn't
on,
know.
hold on.
I didn't know
Y'all
we was
said-
talking. I didn't know we was talking about this. Like that was
Me neither. Hold on.
my list of
I
topics.
didn't even
I
even
wasn't
see
mentally
the story.
prepared for this.
Last minute, we got
I
a serious
was
pivot
leading.
there, boy.
I was leading to somewhere. I wasn't actually going to stay there.
Oh,
but
I was ready to say, tell me
Nah,
the
y'all
you
story.
can
let
go
him
read
cook,
it.
let
Y'all
him
can
cook.
go read it for
Let him
yourself.
cook.
Yeah, I'll go
it's
do
not
that.
it's not a good story.
Okay.
I really hope it's not true, but stop going to these. Alvin Kamara, we ain't heard nothing. Stop going to Vegas. That is just God bless them. That's another problem with me picking the Raiders. They in Vegas, and Vegas is just bad for athletes. But anyway, the point I was trying to get to was there are a lot of players that do a ton of good, but if they make one mistake, like Ray Rice, like Frank Gore,
I don't like your setup.
You went
That's
way
right.
around the corner, but you brought it home. You brought it home.
This setup was crazy.
people
I don't
like
like
them,
this.
But you brought it home.
always bring home. We only seem to hear about all the bad. And my question is, when we have sports channels like ESPN, NFL Network, NBA TV that literally show sports all day long, if you ask the average person what was the last thing you saw a professional athlete contribute to, they probably have no idea. We don't get any. We get Drew League coverage. We get Rucker coverage. We don't get camp coverage. We don't get many giveaway coverage. We don't get all this other stuff. So my question is, why do you think that is? Why do we seem to constantly, as a society, focus on the negative? I just
Hey, yo, you gotta stop.
Kareem punt.
Yo, you gotta stop.
Kareem has
Wow.
resurrected his career.
That's why he put that comment on there, man. I wasn't gonna bring it up. I just gonna laugh it off.
No.
That caught me off guard.
It needs to be discussed because this thing, he's done a lot of good since then. He's been a much better person. But he did it and he lied about it, which just made it worse. They got him out of Kansas City. But no, I don't understand. I guess I would wonder your take on what do you think drives the negative news and just the blatant blindness to the positive news? I'll start with the elder gentleman, Kenny.
Because we're in the clickbait era. It's more important to get views and to get ratings than it is to, and that's what drives. That's what drives ratings. That's what drives views. That's what drives clicks. It's negative. So they're not gonna put too much positive. Even when you see it, it's gonna be for a couple of quick blurb, and that's about it. So it's just a lot easier. It's a lot easier for them to cover the negative stuff because they know that's going to drive ratings, and that's what's going to get people's eyes. It gets people attention. That's all it is. And then another thing too is that a lot of times, guys do things and they do it and they don't want it. They don't want it to be publicized, or they're doing it and they keep it private. So I think that's part of it too, is that guys do things they didn't necessarily do it for the publicity. They do it for the right reasons, and so I think that's part of it as well. But I think the overall thing is that negativity sells.
So I'm gonna push back a little bit, and here's why. I watch Make-A-Wish happen every time. People love that crap. It ain't crap. Love that stuff.
I'm gonna say, why gotta be crap?
Jimmy V every year raise money, great causes. JJ Watt when Houston flooded and he raised all that money, great story. Like, we can skip a Cowboy, Patriot, LeBron topic once a show and have something more wholesome. Like, it's not even that. To your point, I get it. Negativity, stuff like that sells. But that shelf life's short, which is why we got to keep finding new headlines. Because, and this is going to sound terrible, but after you read the story about domestic violence, it's like, all right, wasn't me, wasn't my girl. Like, when's the next game coming on? So I get the clicks, but I think people care about good deeds. And I just don't see enough of that. And I think there's a big opportunity for that is really missing. We see it, like, we'll see it on Instagram. We'll see, Curry hitting a shot over Bazemore, stuff like that. But why don't we see more of that? But Kenny, appreciate it. Chris, what's your thoughts?
I mean, Kenny kind of touched on it. Good things don't sell. Good things don't drive the audience back multiple times. Let's say somebody does something good for charity. They might talk about it once, but they're not going to keep talking about something that somebody did. It's like that more than one time on a show. But like you said, a case goes on like a domestic violence case. They're going to continue to talk about it, continue to talk about it. We're in an era right now where people just don't want to hear about good things. Majority of people don't want to hear about good things multiple times. You see it one time, you feel like you did your good deed, you saw your good thing for the day, but you want to read about that juicy topic or whatever. And that's the negative things. That's the negative comments about athletes or the wrong things athletes might do one time. It sucks.
Yeah.
No comment.
Well, the first part.
Yeah.
Streams do make headlines.
No, he's right though. Streams make headlines. The wrong things will always make the headline. An athlete, does something for his charity. You're not going to see that posted. You might see a top network post it. You're not going to see them talk about it, but you're going to see them talk about that same, athlete that got a DUI. That same athlete that got into it on Instagram with his baby mom. Like, they're going to talk about all the negative things because the negative things sells. We're in a generation where everybody wants to see the negative. The negative is the thing that people want to see. It's not the positive. So, I feel like I didn't say this a million times. I don't know why the good things athletes do. I don't care if they try their hardest not to put it out on social media. These top networks need to find it and promote it because I'm tired of seeing negativity. Like, negativity runs the world right now. And it's the network's fault because it should be their obligation. You showing your show to millions and billions that you need to promote some positivity and some positive stuff on your show. I don't always care about seeing the negative stuff. And that's what every time I turn on the TV, either whether it's sports or, CNN or something like that, it's always something negative. I just want to see some positive.
Dev?
Did any of y'all watch Love and Hip Hop?
Not at all.
Nope.
But the reason why, I'm pretty sure everybody in here can say no. But for some goddamn strange reason, that show still survived. Why?
All the reality stuff.
Because
it's nothing but negativity. All
Yep.
you can find, because people is like to be nosy. People
Hello.
like to be in, try to be into other people's lives. And if other people's lives are on TV, like Love and Hip Hop, The Real Husband, The Real Housewives, and all these stupid little dumb reality shows are out, is only because we like to be nosy about people's lives. And as long as the people's lives and people is willing to go to these networks and go ahead and sell their soul to these networks, that's all we're going to keep seeing is negativity. If negativity is going to outweigh the good right now, because the good ain't selling. Nobody. And then, as far as these players and stuff like that, the reason why it's not being promoted because some of these networks is not putting their money into it. So if they're not putting their money into it, they're like, we ain't promoting it now. You know what I mean? You on your own. You want to put your own money into it. You came up with it. You deal with it. However you it comes out to the public or it stays private. So I think that's the whole reason why, in my opinion.
So I've heard a consistent theme that I just want to get y'all to elaborate on. Y'all said negativity sells. My follow-up question to that is, do you believe we are born that way or have we been conditioned that way? Let's start with you, Ken.
We've been brainwashed.
Yeah,
we've been
Because
brainwashed on that.
I've been on this earth 21 years, and I promise you, it's conditioned. I promise they're conditioned.
So then y'all are making my point. So if we've been conditioned to be this way, at some point, someone could choose to step outside of the box, which I know is a foreign thought for big business, but it's just conditioning.
But some of those businesses is not going to take that gamble.
That's what we're going to do on ASAP.
You know, being first.
I wish we did highlight more of the stuff we did. Like, and I don't know all that we do, but
think about it.
But we all got different podcasts on here. So
I'm talking about as far as promoting, promoting the good stuff. That I know we do that on Real Talk when good stuff happens. That we see on social media with these athletes. We make sure we address it because we know the national media doesn't always address it, and the people that's hearing the comments they might not see it. But to Kyle's point in the comments, we love violence. That's the sad truth. People love violence. You ask any lawman what their favorite movie is, it's a movie about somebody selling drugs or killing people. There's nothing good. Everybody loves violence. Everybody loves drama.
But that's also typically conditioning because most of what you're going to see is that. If we saw something different, I think we'd be different. And here's and Kenny, I'll get to you in just a second.
Okay, good.
But with that, so why then when Nipsey Hussle dies, the first thing we start hearing of his community activism. When Young Dolph gets murdered, it's community activism. They was doing that while they was here. And people care once they're dead. But when they're here, it's not highlighted. Why is that? If no one cares, why highlight it at all?
It's going to seem better, sadly, after they pass away to talk about all the good things. Like you've been following them, like it's been highlighted. And, I've been listening to Nipsey Hussle. My uncle put me on Nipsey Hussle 10 years ago. So I've been knew about Nipsey Hussle and all the things that he wanted to do. But things don't get the great things in people's lives 9 times out of 10, especially when you're from a certain community and you have a certain lifestyle, don't get highlighted until you're gone. Why? Because that stuff doesn't matter. What's the juicy stuff that's going on? Oh, Nipsey Hussle, he got into it with some fans. Oh, Young Dolph, he's in beef with Yo Gotti. Nobody talks about the good stuff. They talk about the juicy stuff that like violence and negativity, all that stuff. For some reason, I don't know why, because I could care less about it. Yeah, it's cool to watch for 2 seconds, but I want to hear about the uplifting stuff. That's what I care about. Sadly, not everybody lives like that. They just want to see the quick thing, the quick balance, all the negativity, because that's what, that's their reality TV. Reality TV isn't not the good stuff. It's all about the drama.
Go ahead, Kenny.
No, I'm going to crystallize this for y'all. So, we all do this show, and we all do. We all have our own shows. We have our own content and things of that nature that we create.
Oh, we got bread.
When you post the things that you're doing, the work that you're doing, and the content that you're creating, how's the engagement? How's the engagement when you post something personal or post something, anything personal, or personal pictures, family, things of that nature, your personal business? Everybody's in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what our society is.
That's true. You know, I saw somebody say,
That's well
listen, I can't even elaborate because you didn't said 1,000 things in them couple words. Honestly.
All right. Unfortunately, that is the state, but it is the state we live in. Hopefully, people can choose to be a part of the change, and I think we will do that here when we can. But we got a crazy ranking came out, and it had the Phoenix Suns as the second best team in the West. I forget which website it was. It's a popular website. My question is,
we know you not taking it. We already know.
We already know.
We already know how you feel. So you might as well just go
get
ahead.
Get it out the way.
Get it out the way.
No, they're definitely not second. They're not in the top four. They're a playoff team.
Why they not second, Ray? Why they not second, Ray?
Y'all know why they're not second.
I just need to hear you say
DeAndre Ayton is the reason why they're not second.
They have an overpaid bum center that ain't worth 2 cents. Nah, he's worth 2 cents, but they overpaid.
Hold on.
They got a dinosaur of a point guard that.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let
me go to my computer station and let's redo this again. So the gunshots.
I don't.
We need all that.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't hate Chris Paul. I just watch him crumble before my face.
No, he hates DeAndre Ayton though.
But he hates Ayton.
I don't hate Ayton. I don't hate Ayton either.
You don't like
I just don't think he was worth the money. That's it.
You don't like him.
He was overpaid.
If it was up to Ray, DeAndre Ayton would be getting paid $8 million a year.
Man, if it was up to Ray, Ayton would not be
on my team.
Exception, right?
He would be the best center on your team.
He's 14 to 15 million a year. I'll give him that. Maybe nah. He's like 11, 12.
In the NBA or overseas.
Man.
They can't afford him overseas. Y'all gonna see. We gonna. This is gonna be an ongoing topic. So y'all that are watching, please tune in as the Phoenix Suns fall. The reason why nobody's gonna have him second when they just re-signed the young Max Big Center of the future is because he's not that guy. If he was that guy, we would have him ranked high.
So
you got a Booker and Ayton tandem for the future, and they're gonna be like 6th on most people's list. Because he's not that guy.
So is it more so because of him, or is it more so? So you think it's more so because of him and not Chris Paul?
I think it's because of Chris Paul. Just to jump in
I think it's the combination of the two.
The combination of the two is a disaster. So let's just say, we got a pie, right?
Yeah. Who's more?
How you putting it? It's Chris Paul and DeAndre.
He got this the blame
65-35 Chris Paul.
Say it again.
65-35 Chris Paul.
Okay.
So stop leading with Ayton. That's all I gotta say, man.
I just said he's not a max guy. I said he should get $12 to $13 million, something like that. That's good money.
So Kristaps Porzingis should get vet minimum then.
Yeah, he's a bump.
Okay.
No, but since y'all so high on this Ayton character, Kenny, where do you have the Suns currently ranked in the West? I think I said 6. I didn't name a team, but I'll give them 6.
No, I'm not going that far.
Damn, son.
I probably got them. I'm gonna give
Otto got the max and he was drafted
4.
number 3. What a disaster!
I'm gonna give them 4.
4?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give them 4.
You got them ahead of Denver?
No. I got Golden State, Memphis, Dallas. I guess I would go Dallas because they went a little further, and then Phoenix 4. I got Phoenix over them.
The Clippers?
Ooh. You ain't no way you believe that.
I gotta wait. I gotta wait and see. I gotta wait. Same way, y'all. I gotta wait to see that.
No. You jumped all over chasing them, but now you.
I gotta be sure that he's healthy. We're not talking about production. I gotta make sure that those guys are healthy.
They've been out for like 3 years.
And
come on now, let's not act like they had not been out for 3 years. Come on, Ray. That over exaggerate.
No, I feel like I ain't seen Kawhi Leonard play since he hit the shot in Toronto.
Come on now. Come on.
Like, what are we doing?
Why you gotta bring that up anyway? Why we gotta go there? Why we gotta go there?
Because that was
might
when they
be-
sent
that's
Philly
probably
Pat.
the second clutchest shot of. That's probably the
First
second
of all, he
clutchest shot
traveled.
of
He
your life.
traveled. He traveled. The shots never counted. He took 10 steps.
Chris, you
Okay.
gotta admit that's like the top 3 greatest
LRG.
shots you've ever seen.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh,
No,
not
it's
for
not.
him.
I know
Hey,
it's not.
hey, Chris,
Woo!
was you ugly crying like Joel Embiid?
Worse. Worse.
How is that? That's got to be a top 3 shot of all time for you.
No, it's not. It's not over Ray Allen. It's not over Kyrie. It's not over MJ against Utah. Vertical 3 right there off the bat.
What year was you born?
Don't
That's
matter. Don't matter.
No, he right about that.
You about to tell me that shot is over MJ
No, he right
off the
about that.
push off? Off the push off. Is that
I'll
even
give
better
you Ray
than
Allen. I'll give you Ray Allen and Jordan. Kyrie's
Kyrie
tough because
too.
they still had to win a game 7. So they
That
didn't
was
That
win
was
game
game
7.
7.
That was
That
game
was-
7.
No, that was game 6.
That was
No,
game
game
7,
seven.
Ray.
You hit that
That
shot in
was game
game
7.
7? You
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is
Come on,
it?
The
Ray.
block was
You're
before,
right.
and then the shot
You're
was
right,
after.
Yeah. You try to take them
40,
shots.
yeah.
Take them back. Take them back. Take them back.
all right, I'll give you that. Top 5.
I'm glad I ain't. I'm glad I ain't.
Top five,
You
top
know,
five.
hold
No.
on, wait.
Might not even be top 5. We got
Because it's a shot that I remember that's above that too. You know, I remember when LeBron James hit Dante Jones in the playoffs against your Wizards in that series. You know, corner 3
That
splash.
shot is nowhere near as close. What are you talking about?
What you mean? It is to me. It is
No,
to me.
I
We
would say
talking
that
about
Bull.
we talking about taking teams out the playoffs. We talking about taking teams out the playoffs.
Nah,
I'm going to say,
those
what
shots-
about that?
those
What
shots
about
are
that
not as
Jordan?
great as that Kawhi Leonard shot. Y'all are some haters.
What about that
bounce
Jordan
off the
shot
rim,
over
stayed
Elo?
into
Over
the
Elo,
corner.
yeah.
That is a walk-off.
As time expired, are y'all kidding me?
It's not
Y'all
better than
talking about shots when there
What-
was time
what-
on the clock?
What
It's not.
What
it's
about
not
Jordan
better
over
than
Elo?
It's not better than Elo. It's not better than
It
Russell.
is better than Jordan over Elo. What was that in the first round?
But that was when
That
the
was
Bulls
second
finally got
round.
over the hump. That was when the Bulls
they're
finally got
both in
over
the
the
second
hump.
round.
Second round.
Both second round shots.
Tripping. Y'all tripping. A 2-pointer. Y'all some haters.
I
Y'all some
am.
haters.
I am.
It's-
That was
we-
a 2-point.
I know why Chris is hating. I don't know why y'all got this revisionist
But-
history.
No, I'm just
Like,
saying.
Back to the original question. I'm gonna take it all back to the original question. They're not the second best team in the West. It's not because DeAndre Ayton.
Dame was the first round.
Oh, yes, that is
that was
so much
first
better.
round.
That
Are you
back
kidding me?
three
Out of
from
here.
40, please.
In the
Step
first round, stop.
Step back for 3 from 40.
But you
back to the-
talking about like that's not this like Kawhi's is the second round.
Yeah,
Like,
second round's
you talking
nothing
just
either.
one round.
but back to the
And the
question, right?
drama and the shot on Embiid. What?
Oh,
You know,
Paul
you know,
George?
Chris ain't gonna give you that.
Who's a better
Chris ain't gonna
defender,
give you that shit.
Embiid
Paul
or
George.
Elo?
Paul George.
Yeah, but he had to beat a double team first to
Thank
even get the
Look,
ball.
look, we not about to
No,
argue
no,
about this,
before he
right?
got
We're
the
not about to
ball.
argue about this. Let's stay on track. Listen,
Yeah,
you're not the second seed. It's not because of Aiden. It's because of Chris Paul. It's because I don't know if Michael Bridges and Cam Johnson are going to take that scoring to the next level. I don't think their bench got that much better. I'm looking at Memphis, who's only going to get better. I'm looking at Dallas, who's
You
only
hope.
got better. I'm
Mhm.
looking at Nuggets, if they're healthy. You know they're going to get better. Golden State, and I'm looking at the Clippers. Right now, the Suns are in the same mix that I got. I'm looking at the Suns and the Trailblazers like the same team right now.
The
Yeah.
Trail- I wouldn't go
The
that
Suns and
far.
Trailblazers, stop it.
I
I'm not
take it
going
too
that-
far. I
we're
take
not
it too
going
far.
that far. Yeah,
But
you
no,
went
no,
too
no.
far.
I'll give you Pelicans with the healthy Zion.
I
But
took
don't-
it too
don't do
far.
that.
I took it too far. But I'll say
That's
this:
okay.
they're not in my top 4. For a fact, I know they're not in my top 4.
I know. That difference
Yeah,
maker
I
at
still got
center.
him top 4.
They're not in my top 4, and it's not because of their center. It's because of their point guard.
And they're not better than the Nuggets or Clippers when healthy.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I
I'm
said I
talking to
got
Kenny. I'm talking to Kenny.
Memphis, Golden State, no order. Memphis,
Yeah, I
Golden
would take
State,
the Clippers
Dallas,
over.
Clippers,
Not Denver.
Hold on, we
Not
talking
Denver.
about Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Denver, or we
Yeah,
talking
but
about the
Michael
Denver?
Porter
we
can't
saying-
guard nobody. Murray's
And who can
guard,
go? And who can guard
Porter
Chris
him?
can guard
Paul
nobody.
guarding? Who's Chris Paul guarding?
Yeah, but he had and that spot too at the 3.
Nah,
That's
you're
tough.
right. I mean, I see what you're saying.
So who Chris Paul gonna be guarding ones and twos?
I mean, but if they play against each other, he's going to guard what? Michael Bridges and Cam Johnson. All they going to do is stand in the corner.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, I see what you're saying, Kenny. But I think they're not the second seed. They're not the second best team.
And y'all think? I guess y'all think Minnesota took a step back. 'Cause you still got Phoenix over Minnesota.
Minnesota was never a top seed
I
anyway.
don't believe
Minnesota
that
should
combo.
have beat Memphis last year.
I'm
What are you
not-
talking
yeah.
about? And they got
I'm not
better.
sold on that. I'm not sold on that.
I don't think they
Towns
got
and-
better.
and-
I don't think they got
and
better.
Gobert
Yeah,
combo.
You don't
I'm
think
not
they got
sold on
better?
that either.
The reason why I don't think they got better is it looked good on paper, but when
Yeah,
you're
I
in the
got to see
playoffs,
it.
when you're in the playoffs, you mean to tell me Karl Anthony Towns is going to guard Andrew Wiggins? You mean to tell me he's going to guard an MPJ because he's going to be at that 4 spot, and teams are going
I'm
to go
not calling
small.
them a title contender, but I think they got better. Their
don't-
team
but
is
I
more
don't know.
talented, and
No,
Edwards
I
is
don't
going to
think-
get better.
I don't think I can
Edwards
put them
takes
over
the-
the Suns yet, though.
Defensively, they got
No, I
better.
agree with
That's
Ray.
about it.
I agree with you. Anthony Edwards is a stud. Jaden McDaniels is underrated. I like Karl Anthony Towns. Gobert with the rim protection. But I'm saying I don't know if they're better than Phoenix, and I'm not even high on Phoenix.
I think they're better than Phoenix, but that's
No.
will remain to be seen. What is this cat hate? The 3-point
I
contest?
mean, you hate on DeAndre Ayton. Why can't he
No,
hate on
no.
Cat?
So that's the category you want to put Ayton in. The cat category.
I'm just saying. I'm
No,
just
man,
saying.
if you can,
Don't
if you can hate
disrespect
on,
Karl
no,
Anthony
if
Towns.
you can hate,
What
if
has
you
Karl
can
Anthony
hate on a
Towns
guy
done?
averaging 19 and 9, then they can hate on.
And he's
Cat.
taking like 7 less
I
shots.
said he's not max, and he's not. He got overpaid. That's all I've been saying. I ain't say it was trash. I said he's overpaid, and he's the
and
number
some people
3 on
could
the
call
team.
Cat a looter and a riot. He ain't won no.
He ain't won
been
nothing.
in 2 playoffs
And
in
then-
10 years.
Y'all know
Anthony Edwards been the
they
best
should have won
player
that
on that
series
team.
last year.
Drafted. Anthony
I'm
Edwards,
saying,
Anthony
you can
Edwards
say
is the leader of that team.
people in the
It's the
playoffs
Anthony Edwards team.
2010
I agree with
years.
you. I agree with you. Cat is the number 2 there now.
Maybe number 3.
What?
Who's in front of him?
I took
Nah.
it
I'm not a
too
big Cat fan
I
either,
far. I
but
took it too far again. My fault.
Yeah, you
Look, I
took it
took
too
it.
far.
I took it too far again. My fault. I know when to say I'm wrong. Unlike Ray. Boom, boom, boom. Deb, I wish you was at your computer right now.
I wish I was.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't be,
exactly.
no more loud shit.
He's
No more loud
good.
shit, Dad. We need them sound effects.
Yeah.
When you start getting benched in the game of the year, man, get out of here. We don't have time for that. I do want to get a quick because we haven't really touched on it in a while. So I do want to ask before we move to a different subject matter.
Uh-huh.
Does anybody get traded between Westbrook, Kyrie, and Durant?
Oh, that was my topic for the end of the show. You
That's
saw
all
where
right.
you saw where Kevin Durant wants to come, right?
Okay.
We ain't
y'all-
talking about that no more now.
Okay.
Chris, you do realize y'all have no packages to go get
And-
Kevin Durant.
Yo,
Right,
listen,
you
we
just traded
hold on.
that.
Hold on.
for-
We do.
They
Listen,
wanted
that-
Devin
that-
Booker from
that-
Phoenix. They're not
listen,
taking Maxey.
Listen. Now we got a package. Don't mean it's the good one. Like, don't act like you don't got a trade. We
You
got
need
it.
a third team.
Look, we got.
You need
Listen,
help.
I mean, realistically, I know it's not going to happen. Listen, you know me, Kenny. You know I'm not a delusional fan. I don't think it's going to happen. I just find it funny that he wants to come over here, and I find it funny how they said it was the player situation. You had to going all to Brooklyn. I just find it funny how they want to blame the players. Yeah, all the players still want to play with each other. So that's why I blame Brooklyn for this whole shenanigan. But to go back on the whole thing, I think it has to get traded. I don't see it working out no more. With Brooklyn and LA is so bad right now. Like LA is terrible right now. They literally have 3 players, and no offense, but a whole bunch of guys that don't move the needle. Damian, you're tripping. Kevin Durant's one of the best players to ever touch a basketball. I want you to delete your YouTube and make a new one and say I'm sorry to Kevin Durant. That needs to be the name of YouTube, okay?
No, that needed to be the name of YouTube right now.
But back to this. I hope all of them get traded because I'm tired of hearing about this. I'm tired of hearing about Russell Westbrook. And because nothing's happened. I'm tired of hearing about Russ. You're not telling me nothing new about Russ. I don't see him putting them shots in the gym. I see him dunking, driving to the lane extra hard for no reason. That's not going to work in LA. This whole Kyrie and Brooklyn.
We was killing them from missing layups all year.
Like I said, it's not going to work in
Yeah,
LA
yeah,
if
might
he
be
cannot
putting
hit a
I'm
corner
sure he
jumper,
puts some.
or I see that situation soured out. And their roster is trash. I see everything with Brooklyn soured out. So hopefully everybody's traded to the destination that they want to go to, and that means Kevin Durant coming to Philly. But if we don't trade for him, I'm not tripping. I like our roster. But again, KD, if you want to come to Philadelphia, I got you. We got you. We're gonna take care of you. That was still a crazy move going to Golden State. The fans are going to let you know that, but we're gonna love and support you. You feel me?
Yeah,
Not when
till
he
start
not when
missing
it cost
shots,
y'all
till
Joel
that start
Embiid.
going.
No. I'm gonna keep it. Joel Embiid's over everybody. If he try to get some with Joel Embiid, I hope we drive him out of Philly. You don't mess with the big guy.
No, I'm saying that's what Brooklyn.
Damn, how you going welcome the man, then drive him out?
That's Philly.
That's Philly for you, guys.
What was your question, Ray?
I don't even remember. I don't even know. We can move on to we got a lot of action coming up over these next couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I do want to start with a report. I think Kenny, you're the one who sent it. And I've heard some follow-up as well that seems more and more likely. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Do we think it's going to happen this year? Dev.
I think the last time we talked about this, I had gave it to December or like the beginning of the year, something like that. And I think I'm riding with the beginning of the year. I think we're gonna start the year off of boxing with a bang. I don't think we're gonna get it this year because there's too many back and forths. The 1 minute is on, then the next minute it's not on, then it's on again. It's all about the money. Then like I said, I think we're gonna start the year off with it. I don't think we're gonna get it this year.
Chris,
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it. Listen, somebody that's trying to get back in the boxing, y'all are the best two in your class. Just fight. Like all this going back and forth. I'm telling y'all, I'm not tripping. I heard this fight months ago was supposed to be in October. The date. I feel like keep going to get pushed back. To Kyle point. It might not happen till next fall. The way it's going, look. But I feel you. I feel y'all. But the way it's going, like I feel like it's going to just keep going, getting pushed back. Like if they don't fight by my birthday, which is in March, I don't believe the fight's going to happen. I need to hear something. I need dates. I need to hear that these talks are going in a good, a positive manner. Because right now, I just lost all hope in this fight. I don't see it happening. I'm not worried about it right now. That's just me. I hope it happens. I wish it would have happened in December. Hopefully it can happen at the beginning of next year. But the way I feel right now, I don't know when it's going to happen. So I can't even predict a date because I feel like every day I think about it, it always gets pushed back.
You know what's up? What would happen first, though? What would suck? If we get Tank versus Garcia before we get Spence versus
I'll be fine.
I feel like it.
I got even less confidence in that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen.
Garcia not trying to come to 130. I don't see that happening.
He's just not that dude, and he know that.
Not.
He ain't ducking the smoke. He don't want this.
Of course,
right.
But to your point, I think the outrage, and I do believe it would be outrage, is too high for them to wait too much. They can't fight anybody else. Nobody wants to Crawford fight anybody other than Spence, and vice versa. So I think as promoters, I think it would be hard for them either of them to fight someone else besides each other, which is why I think they just got to fight.
I mean, they could. They just wouldn't make nowhere near the money.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. And social media is a thing. If one of them agree to another fight without the other person, that ain't going to go well.
At all.
Now, we'll probably end up watching it, but it's going to be.
I'm not paying for it. I'm telling you right now, I'm using the fire stick. And I'm going to comment under this picture, you ducked. And I hope it gets pinned.
If they do that, they're making a mistake.
That's a mistake.
We just watched that happen in the heavyweights. Anthony Joshua then was ducking, and then the fights can't get made because now somebody lost.
Exactly.
Like you don't do it. I've watched it happen in a couple weeks on some of the smaller fights. People trying to duck and it don't always work.
Go further back, like Pacquiao and Mayweather. By the time we got that, it was nowhere near
too late
what it should have been.
They did.
I still think Mayweather would have won.
The fight was nowhere near that it could have been if they'd have got this done,
like 2010. 2009.
Yeah.
So Kenny, you got it this fall or when you got it?
I think it's gonna be top of the year. I think I agree with that. It's gonna be the fight.
It's just such a bad date. And now you're talking Super Bowl, like.
But not if you go to January.
Yeah, January.
But now you're still talking playoffs.
Yeah,
Playoffs.
but this is
football
Saturday
on a
night fight.
Saturday.
So the Saturday night, 1 week out of the year,
People gotta-
a fight like that.
I mean, I remember Manny Pacquiao and Floyd fought Game 7, the Clippers and the Spurs.
Yes,
Listen,
they sure
I
did.
no, right. I know what you're saying. Football is a
right.
different piece.
Don't do that.
But I'm saying like
It's still-
Floyd
it's still-
Mayweather's
you can't
10
do
Errol
it.
Spence's and 10
But the
Terrence
point
Crawford.
is that they fought on the same night of a Game 7 of the NBA playoffs, and they still didn't.
that was-
even know.
Look,
So everybody wants to see that
So
fight.
Chris,
That's
answer me
gonna be
this.
a point.
If they fight on a Saturday and Brooklyn, as it's currently constructed, is playing Philly, which you're not watching Philly,
I'm watching Philly, but that's
my point. You're making my point.
No,
But I think,
okay,
but in
wait,
this case,
let me
but
tell you
I
this,
think
was
Philly,
watching
I
both
think
at the
Philly
same
will.
time.
Well, I
You
think
talking
Philly.
about-
I think a
you
Philly
saying
game
regular
will
season
play.
game, you will watch that over this fight? I'm not.
Come
I'm watching the fight.
Oh yeah,
I
time of year.
got
it will be the
multiple.
playoffs.
I'm different. I have multiple screens, so either way it's going, I can watch
Okay,
both.
all right.
But
Yeah,
I feel
same
you saying-
here. But at the
but like,
same time, I think a Philly game will be earlier than a boxing match. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
exactly.
got-
boxing's
And
not
that's
coming on
another
till
reason
11
why
o'clock.
though. The
11 o'clock.
pay-per-views don't start till 11:30.
Nah, they
at
start
least the
at like
main,
8.
at least the
I'm
main
talking about the
event.
main
The
event.
main
I'm
card.
talking
The
about
main-
the
yeah.
main
Nobody,
event don't start till 11:30.
everybody pre games. Everybody eats their food.
Yeah.
Doing all the fight. Unless you really watch boxing, love boxing, you're not watching all that. You're waiting until that the
Yeah.
card.
Don't trip.
You know, the main
I
card.
enjoy the. I enjoy the.
You-
sport.
I watch-
watch
yeah,
undercards, but I'm talking
I
about
watch
the
undercard.
Y'all
casual
are
fans.
boxing fans. We're talking about
Right,
casual.
the casual fans is not gonna
Come on
not
now.
gonna care. They tuning in for that main event.
No,
I agree.
I can't wait that long.
If you don't do it in the fall, I don't think you had this fight in the winter. Ain't nobody trying to fly to Vegas or California.
in December.
Definitely not Madison Square Garden in the winter.
Well, if
Right.
you do Vegas,
Bring out the
it's
mink
all right
coats.
to do it in the
Bring out the
winter.
mink coats.
No. I mean, you
People
can.
wanna go on Wednesday,
It's
winter time
cold.
because it's cold.
Dad, they gonna bring out the pinks, Dad. It's gonna be like back in the day.
Gonna look like Marcus
Lucas.
Gangster Boy with Frank Lucas.
Uh-huh.
His whole life
Them
changed.
chinchillas.
I mean, I'll be honest though, like going back to that, that's why I remember the October reports that's for and going. If it's not December, I mean, you right, playoffs is tricky, and they're going to use that as an out. But then, how far are you going to push back? Because then
Right.
the
got
NBA playoffs is coming up. So like, are you like? That's why I said March is the perfect time. March is the perfect time if they, because playoffs in
Because
March.
all you going up against is March Madness.
Yeah, exactly. And March Madness is definitely not that late.
Nope.
Yeah,
Depending on-
especially the early rounds, but now
Well,
once
the
it gets a
West
little
Coast,
later,
you get a couple West Coast games, but
But yeah,
they're gonna get that over the
Yeah,
West Coast.
you'll
tournament
win
game.
that. All right, we're gonna see. I think they get it done this year. I don't
No, I
see
think
any
it's gonna
reason.
get done.
I
Like,
hope.
I've been following Dan Raphael for a long time. He's been a boxing insider for a minute, so I've been following back from ESPN days.
I would
So
love to have it in
if he's
December.
putting that out there, then it's got to be some traction to it.
I would love to have it in December. I would love that.
Yeah,
I
that would
think
be dope.
December too late for me personally, but I'm watching it whenever.
Right.
So
Whenever.
I mean, whenever, of course,
it
we're
could
going to
be
watch it.
whenever. We all watching it.
I'm not saying that either.
I'm with Chris. I got multi screens.
Yeah, I got multi-screens. Like,
Make it
No,
work.
I don't
got-
want something like that. I'm not multi-screening because when the bell rings for the round,
Lock it
my
in.
focus is
I mean,
for
you're
3
right,
minutes.
but
I'm watching
to-
that fight.
to Kenny's point, these fights aren't coming on to 11:30. So, like, what's really, like, we talking about all the playoffs and this like that. What's really going to be on during that time?
Right.
Yeah,
Unless,
but you got to think ticket sales and everything else. Like those all can be affected.
That's done big. That's one of them fight of the century fights. That thing's gonna sell out
Exactly.
in a second.
exactly.
Mhm.
I mean,
Exactly.
I plan to be there, so we just got to figure it
Damn.
out.
Okay. Shorty got that money.
That
Okay,
bag.
Frank Lucas.
You know,
Go ahead,
yeah,
your meat boy.
He gonna have that mink.
my kids got to pay me back somehow. So next year we'll just pay down the credit card with the taxes. But
That mink. He gonna have that
hey,
mink out.
Ray gonna be covering it for ASAP. That's what Ray gonna be doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like
Ray
it.
go- hey,
Yeah.
Jay,
You there-
put up the word. Ray's there.
If it's in
Sure.
December, listen, I'll bring the mink out there.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna be back in Vegas in December, so it might make perfect sense.
There you go.
Hey, you might as well go ahead. We might as well go do a live show
Might as
since you
well.
out there. Then
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Invite us all.
Come on, Jay. Send us out there, Jay. Send us with some security and a slush fund.
Yeah, I need them, but I need them to do this anywhere between October or anything after February. Because don't mess with my basketball season kickoff. I'm gonna be locked in. So don't
Hey,
messing up my.
let me find. Watch Christmas Day or something be on a Saturday. I'll be pissed.
I
It's
think
on
Christmas
Sunday.
fall on a Sunday this
Christmas
year.
on a Sunday this
All right,
year.
so we ducked it. Good job. Yeah, it is on Sunday.
But
But
I would watch it on the 24th.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
Nah, ain't nobody doing that.
Parents gonna be pissed having a
Ain't nobody fighting. Yeah, ain't nobody fighting on Christmas Eve.
So that brings me to my next, and
somebody kids ain't getting Christmas.
Yeah, this ain't Rocky Four. That's only
somebody kids gonna go to an empty tree. Tell them what's up. I'm like, oh man, Santa got robbed this year, son.
Oh man, that'd be all bad. That'd be real bad. Y'all can stay up tonight because y'all ain't getting nothing tomorrow. Watch the fight. But I got a question, and I think I know how y'all gonna respond, but I'm gonna educate y'all. But we'll see
Damn,
how it goes.
What you trying to say? What we going to say is uneducated?
Probably.
I'm like,
y'all
know,
be talking crazy and
this means
emotional.
he's got some contrarian angle
Ray,
to the
you know
answer to the
what?
question. So.
Hey Ray, from now on, here's how we're gonna run the show.
Throw
You
the ass
ask
out
the
there.
question, and then you answer the question right after you ask it.
Especially when you know it's gonna be something that you think we're not gonna agree with.
Because he's gonna come at.
I just know I'd be right most of the time.
When?
Yeah.
Most of the time. What do you mean?
In your eyes. In your eyes,
All right.
sir.
Most of the time, you is right to be wrong.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had like one snafu when I didn't trust my heart shamelessly. I admit, and after that, I got back on the wagon. So
Let's move on.
We in there. But speaking of people going into retirement and then coming out of retirement, Tyson Fury says he's back.
Word?
Run the heavyweight division. He's made amends with his wife, like another gentleman we know who came out of retirement. I think made amends with his wife. And my question to you, gentlemen, is where do you have Tyson Fury as a heavyweight? I'll start with you, Devin.
Damn, man. Damn. Woo. I'm gonna just eat. I don't think he's in my top 5 because honestly, I Mike and Muhammad is like my top 1 and 2, and I don't even know how to even put those in the 1 and 2 right there. So then tomato, however people want to do it. You still got George Foreman. You still got Lennox Lewis. You still have
So are we talking about him all time or just for his
right
generation?
now for this conversation? I'm saying all time. We'll go to generation.
I know.
All time. I don't think I got him in my top 5 because I think I got a lot of the old heads. No disrespect, Kenny. You know what I mean? But I got a lot of those kind of over Tyson Fury a little bit. Because number one, I didn't really see Tyson Fury fight a mini fight. I think I only seen Tyson Fury fight like 3 fights, honestly, and then 2 of them was against Wilder. So I really can't rank him, over some of those heavyweights, back in the day. So he's not in my top 5 as of right now. I need to see more body of work from him.
Kenny?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same. I think I would he's definitely of his generation, like he's the He's the best heavyweight of his generation. If we're talking like 2010s on, because but if we're going before that, then it's probably you got to give it to Lennox Lewis. But I would say, yeah, I think I would go Ali, Tyson. I would go probably go Lennox 3. I would go Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, that's the name I couldn't.
Yeah,
That's
Evander
the name I
Holyfield. I probably put
get
Evander
out.
Holyfield above him right now, and then he probably get somewhere between 5 and 10. I think I probably would put him in there because I think. Well, and I'm forgetting somebody, Klitschko. Klitschko.
Which one?
What's
Vladimir.
I get their names.
He beat Vladimir.
He did.
Yeah, on his way, and that was on his last fight. So and he ruled the heavyweight division for years. So I probably put him right there with and that he'd probably be from 5 to 10. And him and Klitschko could, I probably would put Klitschko over him because he reigned for a lot longer and he was a lot more consistent. Unfortunately, Tyson Fury has his issues outside of the ring. That's kind of kept him from really being an all-time great. I think if he would have, if he didn't have that the drug situation after he beat Klitschko, I think I would probably put him over Klitschko. But right now, to me, the only real win that I've seen where he's really beating somebody that's a high class is Wilder. Those other guys that he's fought, and they haven't really been a whole lot of count. I would have liked to see him fight Joshua. So before he went to sleep a couple times, but yeah, I got him probably 5 in that second tier right after.
Yeah. Okay, I mean I'll go with that. I don't know how you have him behind Holyfield, who has 10 losses, but
that's after he started fighting for checks. Because if that's the case, then we're gonna knock Tyson off too.
I didn't argue for Tyson.
Oh no,
I let y'all run with that Tyson narrative. I ain't jump on that Tyson bandwagon. But okay, Chris, who you got?
De La Hoya's not a heavyweight.
Yeah, for the second part, I will say this generation, I feel like he's the best heavyweight. And I would just say his generation, my generation, as far as the boxing right now, I think he's by far the best heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
All time, definitely not top 5. That back end of the top 10, I'm with Kenny. That back end of the top 10, I can't put him in my top 5.
All right, I mean I can live with that. I got him ahead of people like Dempsey. I got him ahead of Holyfield. Too many losses. I'll give you Lennox. I can't put him above Klitschko. I realize the situation, but I just can't do it. So, but no, I'm good.
That's fair to put him. That's fair to put him over Holyfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I think where he loses that Holyfield, Foreman, and Tyson and Ali win is they fought each other. He didn't have another dominant heavyweight in his era. And the one he had, he just destroyed him multiple times. If it wasn't for a knockdown, he'd have beat him 3 times. So that's unfortunate.
But he got dropped in those fights too. So like
he got dropped. No, he did get dropped. I think the third one. Yeah, the third one he got dropped a couple times.
The first one he was in trouble.
He only got dropped once at the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then he rose from the dead. But he was dominating that fight, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. He was
caught one punch,
saying that he almost got put to sleep.
But he got hit by one of the strongest punches all the time.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he was in trouble. That's all.
Yeah, but the second time he beat him up bad.
No.
The third time he got him out of
there. My man had him singing Usher. Got it, man.
Oh man! But speaking of Deontay Wilder, who's been super quiet and kind of the prime of his career, but I guess you need to collect yourself when you keep getting beat, the brakes beat off you. But
he most definitely got it bad.
Yeah, and I like Wilder a lot.
Mhm.
I think he started doing too much, and sometimes it's the Jordan thing. It's sometimes when you're in the era, and I kind of put this on some of the AFC quarterbacks, the Phillip Rivers. Sometimes when you're in the era of dogs, and you just ain't quite the dog, you just look different. And unfortunately, Wilder had a Fury in his generation. And didn't really evolve as a boxer. But
That's the biggest part for me. That's the
Yeah,
biggest part. He didn't evolve. Like
he
that
was,
right. I think that right hand was a gift and a curse. Like the
yeah,
fact that he had that right hand, like he never really developed the rest of his skills.
I give
Because
him. Go ahead, Kenny. I'm gonna cut you off.
no. I was just gonna say because he knew that he could basically he had that one hitter quitter
Mhm.
that he could as long as he could land that, then he was good. And I
he's
just think
been down in a lot of fights, and that
Mhm.
punch.
That punch
Yeah.
saved him. I
Yeah.
will say though, the outside of boxing part, like I know a lot of people that have gotten back into boxing because of Deontay Wilder. Like where I would give him his credit is where a lot of people, they say, "Oh, the heavyweight division is not what it used to be," especially in the U.S. He got a lot of people back into boxing, and that him and Fury clash. Even though I had Fury winning every single fight, that was box office, that was must-see boxing,
Mhm.
and I feel like I gotta give him his credit right there, and I'm gonna give him his credit as a knockout artist because that right hand was nothing to play with. Still don't know how Fury got up. Shout out to him and the demons he battled because that helped him get him up right there. And that helped him be the man he is. But I gotta give Wilder his credit on what he's done for boxing in his generation.
No, absolutely. Which is, like I said, why I wanted to have this conversation.
Mhm.
Do we think we'll ever see that Wilder again, or did that Wilder get beat out of him by Tyson Fury?
I think we see a better
I
Wilder
think-
if he returns. We see a
I
better.
think he need to condition better. If he learn how to get his conditioning better, and work on that stamina, I think we can see that we can get the best out of Wilder.
Yeah. No, I think Kyle nailed it. Like he's just the conditioning is important, but I just think that he is who he is at this point. It's because it's just like with fundamentals, and you learn those things early. And once you get into certain bad habits, it's hard to unlearn those bad habits. And I think a lot of the things that he's gotten into at this point, he's what, 34, 35. I
He's older
don't
than-
see how much he's going to be able to evolve. And that was another reason. And just a side note, like to me, he made Mark Brillen the bad guy, where all he was trying to do was save him from himself. And I don't know this new trainer. I think it's Malik Scott is his new trainer. I don't know how much difference he's going to make because I think that Wilder is who he is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We will definitely see. We got a fight this weekend. Teofimo fights this weekend. I'm excited to see him back. I don't think the opponent's much of a competition.
Click clack.
What are we doing?
Man, wow.
Ray, it's a topic we didn't get to, Ray. I'm sorry we didn't get to it because I feel like everybody's answer would have been different.
What I skipped something?
Yeah, you skipped the
NFL MVP, offensive
Oh
rookie of the year.
man, why y'all let me do that?
Yeah, we gotta say that for Monday.
It ain't.
Yeah, I actually did my homework on that.
Your homework shouldn't change unless somebody tear their ACL or something.
Oh my god! Like, come on.
I mean, I'm just saying you should be good. There's only a couple right answers. So
all right, we're not about to do that. Like it's not 10 answers for each.
For each defensive player of the year is not 10. You might got 5, maybe
10.
10.
10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all
tune in on Monday.
Yeah, definitely tune in for these 10 because 5 of them
Chris,
ain't real options.
Make sure you have 10, Chris. It's you that gotta have 10. Not the
Yeah,
right.
I would have 10.
And
I would have 10.
definitely not 10 offensive rookie of the year candidates, but we will. We'll get into.
me.
I didn't say nothing about that one.
Okay, because ain't no quarterbacks gonna win it because ain't none of them gonna play.
I didn't say nothing about that one, but MVP and defensive player of the year, I might
Actually, that might open up the pool because there are no quarterbacks.
I might have 15 for y'all. Matter of fact, I might
15
have,
MVPs.
I might have 15 for y'all.
Defensive?
Yeah, offensive
Yeah, I
rookie.
can't
Yeah, I
wait
got
to
no.
hear
I
this.
got no quarterback.
I didn't have a quarterback
for that.
neither. But for MVP, DPOY, I had 15 for y'all Monday.
All right, Monday. I think I'm here. I think everybody should be here. We probably will not recap the preseason because no one cares and no starters are playing right now. Actually, no. Deshaun's gonna play Friday, so we
Yeah,
definitely.
Say y'all talking about y'all don't care. Man, boy, y'all something.
I
else.
care. I was watching the game.
I mean, I care
Yeah,
about
I'm
my
gonna watch
team.
him.
I care about
I'm
my
gonna watch
team
him.
and rookies.
Yeah,
My
I'm
team
gonna-
and rookies. That's about it.
I'm a fly stick, but I'm gonna watch him if it's
James.
JW.
Nah, he gonna come out there show. And whenever Carolina play, I'm
Oh
definitely.
wait, no,
watching
they playing Jacksonville, so I'll definitely see that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch him.
Yeah.
Oh, now y'all
And
gonna
we do
watch
have
boy,
one.
y'all-
Might have to figure that up because we got a joint. I don't know when it is. I got to try to figure that out. But yeah, that would be cool. So definitely tune in Monday. We'll have Chris's loaded list of fluff and
Watch, look. He says that now. He says that now. He says that now. But when I list everybody and I got all the facts behind it,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that guy's very.
you can't even
Yeah,
have facts
I'm
behind
sitting at-
rookie of the year.
I'm sitting at my
I
desk
didn't say
Monday for
rookie of the
this one.
year. MVP and DPOY, I'm gonna have 15 for you. Just know that.
in each category.
MVP and DPOY, I will have 15 for
He
you.
went from 10 to 15. You're going the wrong way. Okay.
I will have 15 for you.
All right, Chris. We're gonna
Tune
see.
in. Must see.
I don't want to hear
TV.
no excuses. Don't get no COVID. Don't get no monkeypox. Don't get no Capitol riot.
I got cookouts to go through this weekend, Ray. Like you setting me up for failure, man.
Man.
You better be here on Monday.
Oh,
Just
shit.
make
appreciate y'all.
Save the topic for the end. Save the topic for the end.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a
No, we
good one.
wanna
Have a
open
great
that up.
weekend. Enjoy
Yeah.
yourselves. Stay safe. Don't drag naked women in a hotel. And tune in next Monday. Take care.
Wait, what?
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the day.